Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're talking about the AK again, but today I want to show you something that's a little bit unique in the marketplace. If you're a fan of the rifle like I am, you're struggling to find solid optics mounting solutions. Of course, you have the left-hand rail that's popular on a lot of AKMs these days, but that's less than ideal if you have a side-folding stock, for example. There are other options that have come to the market in the last few years, top covers like the Parabellum Armament top cover, which I've had mixed results with. I can't get them to maintain zero, or even the TWS top cover, which I've had a little bit better luck with, but in my mind it's less than ideal. But it does give you a 1913 rail across the top of your rifle, but replaces your OEM top cover. The KOP system, which I have on this rifle, replaces the rear sight block on the rifle and gives you a dovetailed solution here that you can slide different mounting options onto the rifle. Right now I have a 1913 rail on there that has an integrated rear sight, but with the push of a pin I can take this off, slide that rail off, and I can put, say, a 30mm aim point on the gun. Slides in place, it's a nice snug fit. Put the pin back, and now I have a 30mm sight on my AK. They have mounting options for just about every popular sight out there. Everything from the T1 Micro to LaRue type mounts on 1 to 4 power sights. So it's a really interesting system, and we're going to take a closer look at it this afternoon.
The KOP system replaces the factory rear sight block on your AK. It must be installed by a gunsmith, however it does not require the removal of your barrel for installation. Once in place, you will notice you no longer have a takedown lever for the gas tube. The pin used to hold the optic will also act as a lock for the gas tube. Installing a new sight is as simple as sliding it on the dovetail and pushing the locking pin into place. The mount is rock solid with zero movement once everything is locked down. Field stripping the AK with the KOP system doesn't change much. Everything remains the same with the exception of the push pin that holds the sight in place will now also act as your gas tube retainer. The beauty of the KOP system is the simplicity and the durability of the design. Once you use it, I think you'll agree it's very well thought out and engineered. I've found the sights always return to zero no matter how many times you remove and replace them on the rifle. Let me give you a quick demonstration. Mounts are available for most popular sights such as the T1 or H1 Micro from Aimpoint, a 30mm mount that works with sights such as the KOP M2 from Aimpoint, or similar sights such as the Vortex Strikefire. There's also a mount for the Trijicon RMR and similar sights, a short 1913 rail, a long 1913 rail, and a Scout mount for putting a long eye relief magnified optic forward. A LaRue type mount is also available that allows for 1-inch, 30mm, 34mm, and 35mm scope bodies. This mount can be had with a short 1913 rail in front of the scope for mounting alternate sights like an RMR reflex sight at an angle. Most of the mounting options that are available for the KOP system include an integrated rear sight. On this 30mm mount, you'll notice there's a rear sight here, which gives you a lower 1/3 co-witness with the sight in place. On the T1 Micro, the same thing. With the sight in place, you have a rear sight that's integrated into it, and again it gives you a lower 1/3 co-witness. With sights like this, of course, there's no need for a backup iron sight. It would be obscured by the mount itself. But if you take a look at the 1913 rail section that they offer, again, it has an integrated rear sight, so depending on what you mount to that rail, it may or may not work with that rear sight. But you'll notice the T-sections are slotted so that the sight has a clear shot down that rail to the front sight. All right, guys, it's time for some final thoughts on the KOP system from SabreWerks. Overall, I really like the system. I think it's an outstanding solution to an age-old problem of how to mount different sights to an AK rifle. The downside is you do have to modify your rifle. You're going to give up your factory rear sight. However, having this installed on your rifle, and it does require a gunsmith to do that, and SabreWerks can do that for you,
removing that rear sight block and replacing it with the SabreWerks block doesn't require you to remove the barrel of the gun or anything like that. The gunsmith can put that on without really disturbing the barrel on the rifle at all. So again, I think it's one of the best solutions on the market. It looks good on the rifle, it integrates nicely, and I'm a big fan of it. I like it quite a bit. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in the video, you can ask those questions on our Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description below. Also, please swing by Google+, and I'll put a link to that down below. And please check out the Bang Switch, our blog. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.